friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they love one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You loving on the psychopath sitting next to you.
Everyone, this is Michael with One Mic Out, and I hope that you all have had a great week and a very, very happy Thursday. We're almost to Friday, which means we're almost to the weekend, so I hope that y'all are preparing for another awesome, great weekend. I think we got like 2 more weekends left of spring break down here in the old panhandle of Florida. But anyway, I've been having some friends and people coming up to me lately for some reason, just asking me for like health advice, for working out advice, for like how to do things different advice. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. I'm flattered with it, and I give the best response that I possibly can. But by no means am I do I try and tout myself to be any sort of like a dietitian, a personal trainer, or anything like that, because I have no ambition to be. I've just kind of, because of sports, military, and things like that. I've always just kind of maintained myself at a certain standard. It's never, I've never been super like just into it to where I'm sacrificing happiness to look a certain way. But I've never, this on that same reckoning and that same note, I've never been one to sacrifice being happy because I wanted to be a glutton and just be fat. Be frank with it, right? I've always wanted to maintain a standard because if you consider yourself as a product, right, you're trying to always constantly, we have to try and sell ourselves every single day in terms of the way in which we engage ourselves. If we're looking for better jobs, if we're looking for better friends, if we're just looking to do something different, our everyday interactions with other people, we're always constantly kind of selling ourselves. We are our own product. And so if I always have thought and maintained it as if I am trying to sell myself to somebody in terms of not on a prostitution level, but if I'm trying to sell whatever it is that I have to offer to somebody, if I look like a bag of smashed assholes, they're not going to believe a word I'm saying. However, if you look presentable, if you look like you at least kind of somewhat make an effort to take care of yourself, then that's when you're going to be more successful. And so that's my motivation behind just keeping myself to a certain level. If I want to take it further and more extreme, I've done that before, I'll do that, but I'll never let myself get below a certain standard that I've set for myself. And to each their own, right? Everyone has their own standard that they can maintain themselves at, but don't ever let yourself go to the point that you feel like there's no point of any return. Excuse me. However, recognizing that we are humans, we're talking animals, that kind of stuff does happen to us. But that doesn't mean you can't come back and bounce back from that. So we're primitive in nature, right? The way that we evolved, if you believe in evolution, if you're religious, then from way back in the day, even our diet was different in the days of Adam and Eve. All right, diets were different, and they didn't have In-N-Out burgers and Whataburgers and things like that around every corner. All right, so whichever one you fall in line with, eating habits were different. We'll put it that way. Back in the day, again, I'm not talking about caveman diet and all that kind of stuff. We just ate differently. So today, we didn't have as readily available the loads and loads and loads of sugar that we have that are in everything, especially here in America. They throw sugar in literally everything. The way that we eat our breads are different. They're loaded and all that kind of shit too. Sugar, a lot of processed wheats and sugar. And then dairy. We drink a lot of dairy now when we don't have to. Dairy was just all milk was this concocted Miracle Grow, milky substance, fatty substance to make babies grow and get to a certain size before they grew their baby teeth and could start eating on their own. And so a lot of people continued on, and I get it. I drink milk every now and again. I'll have it with a piece of cake or something like that every now and again. Or like I like ice cream. I'm a glutton for ice cream, and I love yogurt and things like that too. But all things in moderation, as we tout. And so if you're serious about getting yourself to a certain point, whether you want to lose weight, or whether you want to look good, or things like that, you have to change your diet. It's 80% diet, 20% exercise, and you have to change the diet. And that's the hardest part. That's why most people fail. And the reason most people fail is because they'll throw themselves into this, like, they'll get super animated and super excited about it in the beginning. They'll read about it and they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then they fall out week one because they read some fool's plan of, like, I'm going to meal prep and I'm going to count my calories and count my macros and all this, and I'm going to download all these apps and I'm going to keep up with it. And it just becomes overwhelming. Instead of just, they're focused on that 25-meter target when you should be focused on literally like the 2 fucking meter target that's like right there, which is just start doing something different. And by what I mean by that is we always go big to small, right? You start off, and what I mean by that is don't be so laser scope lock focus on, I have to do this certain specific way to a point to where you're so OCD about it. But just be like, hey, I'm going to keep it broad. I'm going to keep it just kind of like roundabout. I'm going to cut out anything that has sugar in it that I can tell has sugar in it. So if I can look at a food item, if I can look at a drink, I can look at the back and look at the label, and it has a shit ton of sugar or has sugar in it, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to intake my sugar through vegetables and fruits and things like that. So intake them naturally. It's still the same sugar, but you're just ingesting it naturally. Those are something you can control. You're not like, I can't, what else is in this? No, just start small. Like, okay, I'm going to start being more aware of the sugar I'm putting into my body. 2, bread. I say get rid of bread. And that's an easy omission out of your diet. Meaning, like, you just look and you're like, nope, that's bread. Not going to eat it. It's that simple. Bread for one, we weren't meant to digest processed wheats. And I'm not talking like if it says whole wheat, all that, it's all the same. I'm talking bread across the board. White rice, white bread, wheat bread, oat bread, all that kind of stuff. Just no bread. If you're trying to get to a certain body shape, style, feeling quicker rather than later, get rid of bread. Substitute something else for bread. Just stick to veggies. The reason we eat bread, a lot of people eat bread anyways, because it gives them more full filling anyway. But then all that shit, a lot of times you'll feel like you have like like you got to use the bathroom, like you got to take shit, because it's your body, your intestinal lining, and your stomach lining is inflamed from what are called lectin proteins that are found in bread, that are found in like peppers and tomatoes and things like that. It's a protein the human body was never meant to digest, and it creates little lacerations inside your stomach lining, your intestinal lining, which causes inflammation, which causes that feeling. So just throw that shit out for right now. All right. If you're trying again, and if you're trying to get to a certain point, minimize or cut it out completely. You don't have to have bread, but your body's going to tell you to, because you're going to feel full or want to feel that full feeling. Substitute almonds. Almonds are great. They make your body feel full after about 12 almonds. And so, substitute something like that. Internet's your friend when it comes to those styles of foods, but there's these superfoods out there, and then there's foods that'll slow you down and make you like a freaking sloth. And then dairy, obviously get that out of your diet. I already kind of went over that. So, if you've already cut out the foods that were making you fat in the first place, then now any exercise that you do on top of that is going to be amplified. You're going to expedite losing the weight now that much faster, because how it is it's, think of it like it's like a race, right? It's a teeter totter, if you will, actually not a race. But if I'm trying to, up my exercise, and I'm just way up here, I'm running every single day and I'm lifting weights, I'm doing all this, but I don't do anything with my food intake, then I'm going to have to do that much more exercise to make up for all the bullshit food I continue to eat. So you're always forever going to be chasing yourself. Instead, if you cut out all that bullshit and upped your exercise just a little bit, you're going to go two opposite directions. That fat and all those calories and all that bullshit that you were putting into your body now is going to be decreasing double because you're not taking it anymore, and now you're working out more. And so what's going to happen is you're going to see results faster. Once you see those results, you look in the mirror and you go, damn, 2 weeks later, you're like, I actually have lost weight. I'm not talking 1 pound a week, 3 pounds a week. All right. That's shit weight. That's like literally that's feces weight. That's fecal weight that's within you. That's always coming and going. One day you're going to be, I'll be 200 pounds. The other day or the next day I'll be, 197. The other day I'll be 204, so that's all like fecal matter weight because that's water weight and fecal matter weight. I'm talking if you want to be dropping fast pounds and legit permanent pounds, you have to change the way you eat. And then it's up to you at that point. The more exertion that you want to put forth, the more exercise, it's just going to do your body that much more good. So that's in a nutshell of how I kind of approach that. It's my mycolosophy, all right, or my mycology, however the hell you want to call it, when it comes to that style of working out. Just watch what you eat and then up your exercise. We'll talk about another time why I should lift heavier weights prior to doing any sort of cardio, and there's no warm-up involved where I hop on an elliptical treadmill, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, if you have any questions, hit me up, DM me, or post a comment or something like that, and I'll do my best. I'll get back to you. But that's just my take on it. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time. All right, all.